Well, hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Today is Friday, August 11th of 2017. I'm Pete Connor, your show's host, and I don't know if I'm going to get through this one today. I'll tell you that right up front. And if I need help, I want Leanne to get somebody here quickly. For both segments, we're going to have Secretary and Manager Jim Gleason from the Steele County Free Fair, along with Director of Public Relations Todd Hale. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get a word in edgewise with these two guys being here, but that's probably okay too, I suppose. But this is going to be good. This is going to be real good. Well, as it is on Fridays, we always take some time to highlight our sponsors. Our premier sponsors, the City of Owatonna, Owatonna Public Utilities, and the Steele County Free Fair. Our primary sponsors, Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Fairway Foods, Little Theater of Owatonna, and Owatonna Foundation. Our interlude sponsors, Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Cedar Valley Services, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care, Owatonna Area Business Development Center, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Video Productions, Triumph Graphics, and TPS Insurance. And we always hope that you support these fine sponsors. These are the people that bring us to you. So keep talking to them and thanking them for taking the time and making the investment in Owatonna today. If you have any other sponsors you think would be good for us to have on, why don't you let us know that by shooting an email to owatonnatoday@charter.net or by calling Leanne at 507-390-5751. And with that said, we're now going to take a few minutes for some sponsor messages, and then we'll be right back with Jim and Todd. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Betsy Linger from the Owatonna Foundation. Your generosity has made Owatonna a better place to live by benefiting our community, the arts, recreation, and education. Please consider a donation today. The Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
It's fair time again, the 2017 Steele County Free Fair in Owatonna, Minnesota's biggest county fair, August 15th to the 20th. 40 thrilling rides on the Gold Star Midway. David Smith Jr. is back for 2 human cannonball shots daily on the Midway. 8 great grandstand shows, beer garden entertainment every day, free outdoor entertainment stages, over 100 food booths, and 300 indoor displays. Scream and moo with much to do. The 2017 Steele County Free Fair in Owatonna.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and welcome to Todd and Jim. Gentlemen, hello. Nice to see you.
Hello there, Mr. Connor.
I'll tell you what, this is
Old neighbor.
The old neighbor, and you know, we just talked about our handles. He was either Scissor Bill or Rubber Jaws, and I was the other one when we got together on doing the mayor show years and years ago. We had a lot of fun during those days. I don't think any of them went viral, though, Todd. Do you?
Those are in the days of the old CBs.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anybody has anymore.
Yeah, handles. Yeah, yes.
What do the truckers use anymore today? I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway,
yeah,
it's great to be here, Pete.
It's great to have you guys here, and of course, it's the magnificence of the Steele County Free Fair, and I say that not necessarily in a augmented way, because it really is magnificent, isn't it? I mean, it is really. Yeah. This is the place to be coming up in a week or so time, huh?
Well, I think you tell that with by people who take the week off. This is their vacation for the family. They come in from out of town and stay with relatives or friends for the week. Yeah. It's really, a mini state fair. Yeah. I mean, it really is. If you go to the Steele County Free Fair and you don't want to battle the traffic up in the cities and this type of thing, you've almost had it right
you get
here.
As much of a flavor of that right here as you can get, right?
It is. Yeah. It is, very much so.
Jim, this once was noted as one of the 25 best regional expositions.
Right.
Do you know?
One of the top, I know.
Top ones, yeah.
I think I remember from Elmer had something about one of the top 200 events in the country.
In the country.
From what I understand, if I remember right. Yeah. So, and we talk about how big the fair and social event it's been, Pete. Sure. And next year it will be the 100th anniversary of the fairgrounds. So built in 1918. Mm-hmm. But it's been a big fair for all those years. It's been a big, the tradition's just kind of carried on from year to year, and the attendance has grown, and we've grown, and things have changed. But it's always been a great stable event and a great social event for southern Minnesota, northern Iowa.
And to the point of that beginning 100 years ago, this was also the site of the state fair for a year or two, wasn't it? Way back
the Owatonna was the site. Yeah.
And that's when the grounds, Pete, was down by J.C. Park. That's when the fairgrounds was down there. Back in, our fair started in 1872. So we'll be coming up on 150 years in a couple, 3 years. But State Fair was, the posters there, and I just can't remember the exact year, but that was when the grounds was down there. They moved downtown, and then they moved up to the current site in 1918 was when they built
it.
A long time
ago. Good.
Yeah, there was, wasn't it, did you mention downtown? It was downtown.
Yes, right.
In fact, the highlighted ride, so to speak, downtown was a slide from the courthouse across Main Street and down into Central Park.
Wouldn't you know?
So that was the highlighted ride of when it was downtown. I don't think that was more than a year or two that it was downtown.
I don't think so too long. No. The slide of life.
The slide of life.
Called, I guess. Yes. Right.
Things have changed.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and the fair too has always been agriculturally oriented. What with exposition of animals and of crops and such, which still is, certainly a core of the gym, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. We just feel that all of us feel that's a real important part of our fair. We're in such an agricultural area here, Pete, and as evidenced by building the Radel Pavilion here a few years ago, and that with all the animals that are in there and keeping everything out. The 4-H still one of the probably the top 4-H program in the state, and certainly one of the biggest, if not the biggest, and so there's a lot of flavor of ag. Yes.
The learning that can take place just for families wandering through the grounds, going out on the east side to those places where the animals are, and of course going to the Four Seasons, and we're all over. But I mean, that they can see where do we get our food from? If someone really wants to know, come to Owatonna, come to the Steele County Free Fair.
Right.
Excellent.
And we try to keep that message every year. I mean,
exactly.
There hasn't been any reduction. Other than forced by lower numbers of animals. I think the hogs are a good example.
Right.
Where we don't have the hog
productions
as many as we have had before, but horses are the biggest now.
Yeah, really.
Interesting.
We got more goats and llamas and some of those kinds of things.
Some exotic things that used to be called
that are bigger. So
back in the old days, Pete, they used to herd. Jerry Ripka used to tell me they herded the cattle from the farm over to the fairgrounds. I mean, they
down
went
18th Street.
Down 18th Street.
Wow.
That's amazing. But that's what they did.
Yeah.
Farmers did.
So what are we going to see? That's let's take on a couple of the differences. What's new, Jim, coming in?
I got a whole page here, Pete.
You got a whole page?
Yeah.
Let's
You
hear
ready?
some of them.
Are you ready?
Let's
I'll
do it.
see ya.
Let's
Right.
You sit still.
Well, everybody wants to know what's new all the time, and so I've spoken at a few service clubs in town, so I got a list here of things. So let's just
go for it.
Let's go for it. New entertainment. The Magician is a new involves magician. Magic and dairy farming. He's an old dairy farmer out of the East Coast, actually from New York, and he'll be on the Elmer Riesland stage with 3 shows a day, along with Enticing Entertainment will be returning with their great entertainment on the Riesland stage. The Ag Cab Lab, speaking of Ag, Pete, the Ag Cab Lab is an interactive display. It'll be for kids and anybody that wants a simulated combine cab and some other interactive games. They'll be located right near the FFA Barnyard down on the East End. We've got 5 new bands in the beer garden, new acts on both the United Prairie Bank stage and KRFO stage, Todd will talk about, including some acts from Nashville. We've got a new ride called the 2 Extreme on the Gold Star Midway. We've got a new grandstand show. The ATV Big Air Tour will be on Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. So that'll augment the other great shows. Hopefully we'll be able to hold all our grandstand shows this year. Yeah. We won't get into that, but we need to rebound on that for this year. Yeah. We've got a new location for both the photography department and the homemade wine department. So those will be upstairs in the Four Seasons in the upstairs area, which of course is the only air-conditioned spot on the grounds, and there's an easy access via elevator or stairs up to those departments. So we'll be interested to see how those go. New improvements on the grounds. We've got new fencing around the beer garden. Nice new chain link fence with slats in it. New cement on the north side of the beer garden, Pete. It looks really nice. We've got the guys re-sided the old paddock building, which is one of the oldest buildings on the grounds. They completely re-sided that and new windows. It looks great. And we've got a new sound booth that will be at Fair Square for the sound equipment of the United Prairie Bank stage. New doors on the beer garden as well, the two entrance doors. New colors on the grandstand ticket booth. We could go on and on, and so a lot of improvements on the grounds.
Sure.
New foods, including Venezuelan food. The Wonder Stick, which is a new ice cream treat, will be down on the east end of the grounds by the Lumberjack Show. We have new Oriental egg rolls, a couple new Oriental vendors that are coming with egg rolls and Oriental food. Uncle B's Barbecue, some great barbecue. Uncle B's out of Faribault. The Waffle Chicks, which is a new great looking stand right off of Fair Square. They put different confections inside a waffle with a waffle coating. Mediterranean dishes, teriyaki chicken, and cheesesteak fries, all some of the new products that we've got.
Who's any old favorites that won't be back?
No,
nothing.
No,
so this is all an addition.
Pretty much
Everybody stays.
Pete, I think I have 6 vendors that left, and I got replaced with about 5 or 6 that are returning. So keeping right about that same level for food.
It just makes me go ooh.
Right.
Chubby, boy. We can just really get after it there. Well, that's great. We're going to talk. We're going to take here in just a bit a break for some sponsor messages. Then we're going to come back. And Todd, I want to get to some of the things that are, from your perspective. We've been around for a long time, a little bit longer than Jim, and with the fair, and so we want to catch up on some things that you see by way of transition. So we'll do that here in just a bit. So stay tuned with us. We're going to take some time for sponsor messages, and we'll be right back with the boys. So please don't go away.
Hi, I'm Jean Newkirk, personal banker here at Bremer Bank. Come see me today for our current retail loan specials and any of your banking needs.
And I'm Ryan Gillespie, mortgage loan officer here at Bremer Bank in Owatonna, and I'm happy to help you with all of your home loan needs. Come see us today.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community. To what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Since 1988, the Owatonna Area Business Development Center has been the part of the success of many area businesses. The center leases office space and manufacturing space and offers on-site business consulting. The Owatonna Area Business Development Center is in business to help your business be a success.
Hi, I'm Rick Smith, Golf Course Superintendent of the Brooktree Golf Course. Brooktree is an 18-hole championship golf course featuring well-manicured greens, tees, and fairways. We are open to the public. I challenge you to find a better maintained golf course for the money we charge here at Brooktree. Come on out and play Brooktree, a great golf course.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and welcome back to Todd and Jim talking about the Steele County Free Fair for 2017. Jim, now you have replaced Elmer, who was a long-time fair manager and secretary, and so that's how many years now?
This is my 6th year. I started 6th. It'll be my 7th fair that I've worked on.
Yeah, 5 years since Elmer died Fair Week.
Yeah, Fair Week.
And in fact, in my column in the paper tomorrow, I'll have a tribute to Elmer.
Yeah, cool.
Things I remember, and of course what he had done to make this fair
Yeah,
what
really.
it is today.
Took it to a different level, didn't he?
He did.
Huh?
He did.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And
How about you?
As
You've been
look back, it's 30 years plus.
Is it that long?
Yep.
Were you still in the radio business when you started?
Well, I didn't really start in my capacity with the fair now until I retired from the radio. But of course, during the years with the radio, I was at the fair every year, and got an idea what
so
was
you're
going on.
the voice of Owatonna that is now the voice of the voice of the fair.
Well, a lot of people attribute that. They say, I don't know that I'm really at the fair until I hear your voice. And that's probably true.
How much of that is taped that we hear? You're not sitting at.
Well, no, all of the announcements that go periodically during the day with a 3-minute, 5-minute period between them, they're done right now.
Yeah, no,
They're done now. And the guys give me flack about my old equipment that I use, but I continue to use it, Pete.
Cassette.
Is it cassette? I was going to say reel to reel.
Cassettes, you can't even buy them anymore. I've saved, but they work really well.
We got a bunch at home if you need some.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
You know where I can get some.
Oh, you do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like Dan Demmel always tells me, if it works, don't fool with it.
So beyond that, Todd, what your role as kind of the publicity guy, a director of publicity and promotions and whatever. What else do you end up doing? I mean, obviously Jim is out there banging the bushes and making sure the contracts are signed and all the rest of that. Yeah, absolutely.
That's his forte. Jim has sold all his life.
Yeah.
He sold for us at the radio station, and so he's a good salesman.
Yeah.
And that's helped the fair. Certainly, I think it's the last couple years, 2 years ago, I think we hit the $1 million mark, which we never had before, and a lot of it's due to Jim's persistence, certainly with advertisers. But my job, when I started, of course, it was with Dr. Allgaier, and I was in charge of the publicity primarily. Then it expanded, and don't ask me how or why, but I got expanded into booking the free entertainment on the free stages.
Sure.
And so that is my job and takes up a good share of my time. The early part of the year, I mean, you got to get a hold of these people early because they're making their calendars
bookings,
out for the year. Then we go back to the advertising part, where we do advertising in the papers and some radio and here on the Owatonna Today Show. And so then I have to arrange that, write the copy, tape the messages that are going on that they're with those various things, because I do all of them. Elmer always insisted I did all the messages on the advertising, so I did that.
Single voice.
Yeah, and so that's my job there, and that takes me right up to the fair until I look at the final, on the entertainment end of things, look at the final result. Here they come on the grounds. It's a successful venture that they have a good time at. And I've got some great people now that help me in the park, Fair Square, also on the KRFO stage as well. So it's a year-round job. I mean,
Well, you guys are pulling this off alone. You've got kind of a cast of thousands that are assisting you out there, right? That come in for the fair. How many people are associated then with the fair that help with various things, the parking, and you see the little 4x4s running around and what have you? How many?
Well, we have over 100 superintendents, Pete. Let's start there. That do the competitive departments. I help with stuff during the fair, from shuttle driving to just a lot of different things. Picking up banners, aerial photography. I have an aerial photographer, superintendent of aerial photography, Doug Hughes. Doug Hughes has done it for years. Wow. Does aerial photography of all the stands that are really helpful when you're planning out the next years where everybody was, you can really get a view to see how the fair.
And being that he's a pilot, that
Right.
works out really well.
Right, it does.
Yeah.
So that's good, and then you jump into.
Used to be Ted Ringhofer.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Back in the
Ted,
old days.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. So and then and then you've got all the people that work in the different departments, the volunteers, and you've got the staff, the grounds crew, which is huge.
Yeah.
Josh Pratt, Scott Sikora, and their crew, they do a great job of keeping that grounds ship shape. The improvements that I spoke of earlier, great job with that. So there's a lot of and then you've just got other people that help out and win the grandstand, this and that. I'm sure there's good 200 people plus or more, 300 and some plus, I suppose, when you start talking about other people and agencies in the city and county that offer their assistance in different areas. So it's a
So you've
pretty
got
big
law
group.
enforcement that comes in, of course. That's a big place for them to be during that week. And,
Right.
And,
Yep.
so lots of people coming to town, and, things happen, as
Right.
we well know.
Yep. They do.
Let's go back to the Midway for a second, because you talked about Gold Star Amusements. They've been around for how long now?
They came right as I started. They
That
came
long.
in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
made the
still a
change.
big deal in terms of these kinds of expositions where you've got the Midway? Are there still a lot of Midway, like Gold Star amusements? Are there a lot of those kinds of companies around the country that you get to choose from? Or
Well, there's still quite a few of them out. Mostly all good, some not so good.
Yeah.
In case you picked up that sometimes they don't show it. I know there was a couple 3 fairs in Minnesota, county fairs, that the carnival didn't show up, which is not a good deal, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few I think around the country and everything, and they all we've been very happy with Gold Star. They've done a good job for us, and they've got a lot of the fairs in the area, and they're safe. They really concentrate on that. Obviously,
Maintain
there's
their
been
equipment.
some correct, and inspected well, and just they've done a great job for us.
Are you going to be having? I suppose you'll be having the special days, where for kids, primarily for
Two
kids, where you
kids'
get
days.
you get the bands,
Yep.
wristbands, right?
2
for
kids'
everyone.
days, one senior day on Thursday.
How old do you got to be, Todd, to be a senior?
You and I both
We're
qualified.
already qualified.
Yeah.
As well as myself.
Do you
Yes,
really?
oh, yes,
Oh, boy.
yes, right.
As well as him, I guess, yeah. I think we got a lot of seniors working for us, believe me.
So you have a couple of kids' day ride, unlimited ride kinds of.
Every day,
Yep.
Pete.
Every day.
Every day of the fair,
Oh,
there's a
those,
ride
right.
special along, of course, with the mega ride ticket, which, by the way, we set a new record on last year. Thank goodness we did, with the way the weather did not cooperate so much, but that's a big part of it. And then,
This is the last weekend for the Mega Ride ticket. You have to buy those by Tuesday at 5, so get them at Hy-Vee. $55 for the Mega Ride ticket, which is unlimited rides all week long. So
Is that per individual or per family?
That's
per
per
individual.
Per individual, okay.
Per
boy,
individual.
those kids ride those rides a lot, too.
yeah.
I can be attest to that. I've heard that they get their money's worth out of that mega ticket. I know.
Now, in terms of measurement, we can talk about what we assume, because we don't have any turnstiles. So, but you think that we got 300,000 people that came through, and you determine that by how? What's the formula?
Secret formula. Secret. No, we take into consideration, Pete, and this was from Elmer. This is how they've done it. Take into consideration the mega ride tickets, the beer garden attendance, the parking, the grandstand attendance, the ATM machines. We use about probably 8 or 9 different variables, I guess, if you will, or items that we kind of combine together to come up with an estimate. Which is an estimate.
Right.
And as I tell my vendors, that's not 300,000 different people, because as you know, and as we all know, people come to the fair multiple times.
Absolutely. Right.
So that's kind of how we kind of come up with it. And we dipped, of course, below the 300,000 mark, rightly so last year with the way the weather did not cooperate.
Sure. Yeah. Well, what do you do? But
who would ever think?
the fair goes, though.
Fair
Regardless
goes,
of
and it was
weather.
amazing that I think the Midway had one of its biggest years here, even though they were walking around in ankle-deep mud.
They did.
Out
They
there
did
on
have
the
a big-
Midway, but people come to the fair regardless of the weather.
Let's talk a little bit about public safety again. Is that obviously people come. It could be hot, and and so we have issues about health and and so forth. I assume Gold Cross has got a place to be.
Right. We have the community center is our first aid headquarters.
Right.
It's even got an area for nursing mothers, private area. So we have that available. Gold Cross is right on the scene. They even got their stuff on a golf cart so they can get through the grounds
quickly. Right.
And so we think we have that pretty well covered, and we've never had a real serious issue. But
we got the posse will be on board again.
Sheriff's posse.
Sheriff's posse.
Sheriff's posse and the sheriff. And one of the things that those of you who have little ones, daycare providers, or parents, make your first stop the sheriff's office. Get an ID tag, put it on the kids. So that they know who they are, and in case they get separated, they're a lot easier to find. Even taking a picture of the kids in the clothing that they're wearing that day
is
helpful
quickly now with cell phones.
Yeah, you can do it real quick.
Good.
Two organizations I want to just quickly thank, Pete, and that's the Owatonna Foundation, who a grant from the foundation paid for new air conditioning and a furnace in the Muckle Museum. So we've got that. So now people can go in air-conditioned comfort in the Muckle Museum, courtesy of the Owatonna Foundation. I wanted to thank them, and I wanted to thank Monsanto for a grant we got from Monsanto as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, this is the proverbial stuff 3 pounds into a 2 pound bag right here. We could keep on going. And but listen, you guys have done, as expected, a marvelous job to highlight the things that we're going to be looking forward to next week.
Yep, next week.
Weather hopefully will be with us.
Factor, and hopefully it'll be.
Throw up a prayer for good weather and for a good fair. And thanks to you guys for your dedication and the creativity that got to go into this thing to make it happen as it does every year. So thanks so much for being here and for being there as well. And thank you for being with us today to weigh in on the upcoming Steele County Free Fair. We're going to take some time for some sponsor messages, and we'll be right back for a close. So don't go away.
Cedar Valley Services, located at the corner of Rose and Grove in Owatonna, provides an array of services for people with disabilities in Steele County. CVS thanks the entire community, especially our business customers, for supporting us in Owatonna for 43 years. Thank you from CVS.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And a postscript to one of the things the guys left was the David Smith, the human cannonball, will be back on site this year as well. So that'll be good for lots of people to know that.
Today, 5:30 and 8:30 p.m.
Okay,
every day.
Good shot. Good shot every day, twice. Some announcements. The annual Iowa Minnesota Pirate Festival, a new event to Owatonna on August 12th and 13th of 2017, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Morehouse Park. The public is welcome to nominate an individual for Culture Fest Ambassador Award to the person who best illustrates the core values of Culture Fest. For an official application form, please visit our website at www.culturefest.org, or if you want, you can contact Laura Ressler at 456-7738, and that'll do it for this Friday. On Monday, we'll come back and we're going to have Fair Flowers, and as well as Marjorie Johnson, the Blue Ribbon Lady, with us. So come back for that. And do be well, and hope to see you next Monday. And certainly we hope to see you at the fair. Thanks for being with us today.